Good morning, students. This year has been a challenging year for all of us, but there is nothing that can hinder us from learning. I want us to start this year with a bang. Welcome to the school year 2020-2021. We will be conducting our class through online platform. Primarily, we will be using Zoom and Edmodo. In order for us to have a smooth sailing classes, the school made specific rules and regulations for us to follow. So, here are the rules and regulations and standard operating procedures during Zoom classes. Number 1, they follow designated online time for each of your classes. I have already sent you your class schedule. All you have to do is follow your schedule and be on time for your classes. Number 2, be present at all times during mandatory Zoom sessions. Zoom mandatory classes will be conducted once a week. Please do not be absent during those times because it will be a day for asking questions and clarifications of your lessons. Number 3, identify a comfortable and quiet space for you to study. 4, work on requirements in accordance with specified timeline and dates. Always keep in mind that learning compliance. Mindful of the dates and subjects of your task, not just comply your task. Make sure that you learn something out of them. Next, acknowledge posts or messages given by subject teachers and or advisors. Acknowledge posts from your teachers. If there's any posts that are not fully understood, you can send a private message to your teacher. Number 6, consult subject teachers when encountering difficulty in any subject. Consultation is not limited to Zoom sessions. Consultation is not limited to Zoom only. You may also message your subject teachers through Messenger or send email. Number 7, ensure one's own social and emotional balance by keeping healthy habits. As much as you want you to learn, we want you as well to develop a healthy habit. As Berean student, you should always be integrable. You have to do what is right even if no one is looking. So always bear in mind our honor code. All Berea students should abide by the following code. I make sure that all my work is of my own doing and never give it to other students to submit as if it were theirs. Your work is your own. Do not let others copy it for submissions. Next, I will not post test or assessment answers on the internet and other public places or use answers from this post. Students, be mindful of your posts on the internet. Any documents and other forms of assessments, such as quizzes and exams, provided by your subject teachers, must not be shared nor posted publicly outside Moodle. Next, I will never plagiarize from any source nor make my lack of knowledge as an excuse to engage in plagiarism. Make sure that your answers to the task given to you are your own. And if you need pieces of information from different sources, you should acknowledge your sources by citing them properly. Next, I will not take unauthorized assistance during assessments. During major exams like quizzes, LT, or quarter exams, you're not allowed to ask help from anybody to answer that one. So try to be independent as much as possible. And number 5, I will not share educational materials beyond the boundaries of the online classroom. Do not post or share educational materials to other schools or your friends. It should be for your own consumption only. Number 6, I will put to heart that learning supersedes compliance, given that I will make all submissions with academic excellence and honesty. I will synthesize and make use of the ideas and concepts that I come across and learn from the mistakes that I make along the way. You should remember that learning supersedes compliance. Make sure that all submissions are submitted on time with academic excellence and with all honesty. With the aims of molding its students into morally upright and ethical citizens, Berea does not condone acts inimical to the formation of students' character formation and values education. Hence, certain acts are prohibited. Commission of these acts is considered an offense, which may be major or minor depending on the nature and frequency of the offense. Now, let's proceed to the offenses. By the way, your class advisor will be assigning a class beadle who will be given an access to our online beadle sheet. The beadle sheet will contain the records of offenses. Let's begin with the minor offenses. Any uncalled for acts such as name-calling, teasing, labeling, shouting, howling, whistling, and jeering during Zoom class hours. During Zoom meetings, students must refrain from teasing, labeling, shouting, or jeering. What do you mean by this word? It means to make rude and mocking remarks at your classmates or even teachers. Try to be tactful as much as possible. You may report and show evidence of teasing by providing screenshots. By the way, during Zoom class, you can raise your hands and you can use the chat box if you have questions. Number two, doing unrelated activities or any form of inattention during Zoom class hours. Now, students, remember that during Zoom class hours, do not do anything that is not related to the subject. Zoom time is class time. Is that okay? Okay, last. For the minor offenses, one incurred tardiness in mandatory Zoom sessions is equivalent to one minor offense. Again, one incurred tardiness in mandatory Zoom sessions is equivalent to one minor offense. Okay, now let's proceed to the major offenses. For major offenses, number one, unauthorized use of the name or seal of Berea. Do not use, students, again, do not use the name or the seal of Berea if you're not allowed. Number two, for the major offenses, cheating during tests and in other course requirements. The term cheating includes the following: plagiarism, unauthorized possession, use or distribution of notes and calculating devices during exams, copying or allowing another to copy one's test or exam, fabricating results of any research or experimental data, direct or indirect participation in leakage of test questions, submission of requirements done by another person. Well, cheating comes in different forms like plagiarism, copying from other people's work, calculating devices, or your gadgets, especially if you're not allowed to use it. Let's say you were absent due to unforeseen family circumstances. Do not copy from your classmates' work or do not let your classmate copy your work. For the high school students, for research or any experimental data, do not fabricate results. It will be difficult for you to arrive at the conclusion of your study. Giving false testimony. Do not make stories against your classmates or teachers or against the institution. Next, number four, tampering with grades and other records or materials. Whenever you receive your grades or any records or materials from the school and there are times that you don't like it, please do not alter or tamper anything. 5. Forgery or using forged signatures. Do not forge any signatures. It is against RA 9105, the Art Forgery Act of 9105. Imitating or reproducing any work of fine art with intent to deceive the public or the buyer as to the authenticity of the work. Next, gross disrespect for an insubordination to school authorities. And bullying, extorting, threatening, intimidating, coercing, or provoking others. Let's address cyberbullying. Cyberbullying or any bullying done through the use of technology or any electronic means is a major offense. Report any form of bullying by filing an infringement or incident report to your class advisor or to me. Number 8, any form of sexual harassment, any action, verbal or non-verbal, that violates the dignity of a person of the same or opposite sex. Number 9, use of social media to degrade the institution or any member of the institution. Degrading includes, but is not limited to, using profane language against the school or any Berean. As I mentioned earlier, be mindful of your posts, especially if this concerns the school or any Berean. If you have ill feelings towards others, please do not post it. Any other offenses not included in the above but resulting in similar moral injury or material damage is still considered as major offense. So, how do we deal with your offenses? Make sure you go to the right authorities when seeking help and addressing concerns. The following are the channels of disciplinary authority of the school, who shall be in charge of monitoring, maintaining, and improving the student's degree of discipline. Let's have first the teacher or the class moderator. The teacher and or class moderator shall be the foremost disciplinary authority with respect to minor offenses, especially those committed during online classes. So the first one to handle the case will be the class advisor or the teacher. Next, the prefect of discipline. The prefect of discipline shall have the authority to hear and adjudicate disciplinary cases referred to it by the teachers or the class advisor, staff, or principal. The prefect of discipline follows the procedures specified in the code of discipline. Number 3, the principal or the school board. If the case requires dismissal, the action is forwarded to the principal or the school board for approval. In case of expulsion, the approval of the deputy secretary must be secured. In all other matters, the decision of the principal shall be final. Again, for the channels of disciplinary authority, first, the class advisor or the class moderator. Next is the prefect of discipline, the number 3, the principal or the school board. And the final decision comes from the school principal. Procedure for handling disciplinary cases. Disciplinary actions aim at character formation and values education. These actions are taken to strengthen the students' character training in school, in support of their character training at home, and to inculcate responsibility and accountability, respect for the law and authority, and a sense of justice and fairness in general. Procedure for handling disciplinary cases. For the minor offenses, anyone who witnesses or discovers the commission of a minor offense shall file a written infringement report or IR before the prefect of discipline, preferably within 3 school days from the commission or the discovery of the offense. The prefect of discipline shall furnish a copy of the IR to the parents or guardians of the students involved and shall inform the parents or the guardian that their child is being represented by a teacher or advisor. Number 3, the student name in the IR or the infringement or the incident report, accompanied by the class moderator or a teacher of his choice. In case his class moderator is the one who filed the IR, shall be given a chance to explain his side. This shall be done within 3 days upon receipt of the IR. Then, the prefect of discipline shall impose a sanction, if applicable, within 2 days after deliberation and evaluation of the case. For the sanctions of the minor offenses, for the first and second offenses, the authority will give an oral reprimand. And the implication of that, the student will write a letter of apology. Yan lang. You have to write a letter apologizing the authorities or any staff that offended. Okay, for the third and subsequent offenses, the authorities will give written reprimand. And what you're going to do, you're going to write a reflection letter or a letter of apology. Okay, for the major offenses, anyone who witnesses or discovers the commission of a major offense shall file a written discipline case report or DCR. Again, what's DCR? What is DCR? Discipline case report. Before the discipline committee, preferably within 3 school days from the commission or discovery of the offense. The DCR shall contain the following information. Okay, what is the nature of the offense? The date and place where the offense was committed. Then the name or the names of the suspects and witnesses. Then the date of filing. The Prefect of Discipline shall conduct a preliminary inquiry of or in the presence of the class moderator or teacher of his choice in case his class moderator is the one who filed the DCR. The moderator or teacher shall act in loco parentis. The objective of the preliminary inquiry is to determine whether there is a probable cause for the commission of an offense to warrant the filing of a disciplinary case. The Prefect of Discipline shall take either one of the following actions within 3 school days from the preliminary inquiry. For letter A, if there is no probable cause, the Prefect of Discipline shall dismiss the case and shall submit a report to the principal. If there is admission, the Prefect of Discipline shall call for an online conference with the parents or guardian of the students involved. Upon the parents or guardian's acceptance of the validity of the admission, the Prefect of Discipline or teacher with the disciplinary committee shall determine the appropriate sanctions. Okay, if there is a probable cause and there is no admission, the Prefect of Discipline shall convene to carry out the due process of investigation to shed truth to the matter. Okay, for the investigation, the Prefect of Discipline within 3 days after the preliminary inquiry shall notify all parties involved, then ascertain the facts and hear the evidence of the complaint or the accused. Then gather and weigh pieces of evidence presented, both testimonial and documentary. The proceedings shall be tape recorded. Parents and moderators shall be present during the recordings. Then, for the major offenses, convene the disciplinary board for case deliberations and submit report for its actions to the principal, stating clearly and distinctly the facts and the rules on which sanction is based within 3 school days from its last hearing. And lastly, for the sanctions of major offense, the range of sanctions which shall be imposed depending on mitigating and aggravating factors include the following: written reprimand, conduct rating of D during the quarter when the offense was committed, and non-marching in the graduation ceremonies in the case of graduating student. That's all. Welcome to Berea.